1st, 2019, I was attacked from behind one night and I died temporarily. My heart stopped for several minutes and then it started back up again on its own. These videos are about a person who has suffered significant brain injury after temporarily dying and who perhaps has some insight. Hello, welcome to episode 50 of Dead Man Talking with me, James Inkson Stevens. Okay, so this is part 3, interactive post that I popped on Brain Injury Awareness group on Facebook. You can look it up via the search box on Facebook. Anyone with a brain injury can join. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind, always. Up to 64 million people have a traumatic brain injury worldwide every single year. And that's not including acquired brain injury or any level of significant post-concussion syndrome. What we experience isn't a dodge, a hustle. We aren't making more of it than it is. The truth is, we're actually making a lot less of it than it is because it's so strange post significant brain injury, and it's not good, and not in a good way, that it's really hard to articulate, to translate the experience into an accurate verbal description. I'm a trained professional Shakespearean actor, and I get really frustrated that I don't even get close to how difficult to explain and how difficult the experience is post multiple traumatic brain injuries. So this really could happen to anyone. This could happen to you, the person watching this, if you haven't had a TBI, ABI, or don't experience PCS for any reason. Only those who these things have happened to know how alien the experience and alienating the life that follows is. One thing I'm coming to terms with is that my thoughts and the way I do things are a bit more erratic, to say the least, post-brain injury. But I've been really stressing about trying to make these videos really ordered in the way that most people's YouTube videos would be. I will give a few more mentions to comments which started with part 1 of what you wish people wouldn't say or do to you post-brain injury. But I will, anyone that I've forgotten to mention, I apologise, but I was only prepared for about maximum of 10 comments and I had almost 250 comments. So I've mentioned as many as I can, but I will keep referencing that comment stream on brain injury awareness. Okay, so straight away I'm going to ask you all for a favour. Please forgive me, okay? It's episode 50. I've held out till now before I sold out, okay? So in a second, there's going to be an infomercial, okay? But please, trust me, I wouldn't endorse any product that I didn't think would help me and you. Okay, this product is I think will be very handy for anyone who's experienced brain injury. Okay, so just bear with me, okay, and let me know in the comments what you think of this infomercial. Hi, my name is Tarquin Richard Randolphson, or Tark Dick Randy. To my friends. I mean, I don't actually have any friends as of yet, but I'm working on that. Do you find that post-brain injury, you have numerous problems with ninnies, assholes, twats, dickheads, pillocks, bellends, wankers? Wankers? Is that how the British say it? I don't know. How would I know? Let me just go and get my twin brother. He's strangely, oddly from England, but I'm not, obviously, as you can tell. Harold. Hi, I'm Harold. I'm from England. And the correct way to pronounce wankers is wankers. Are you having problems with wankers? If you are having problems with any of the aforementioned dingbats, douchebags, and what have you, then I've got just the thing for you. I call it the pillock spinner. Now it's turned off right now, but I'll just turn it on. Okay, so now this is what happens. What you do when anyone questions your symptoms post-brain injury, calls bullshit, or says, me too, even though they haven't got the faintest fucking idea what they're talking about, then what you do, you click on the pillock spinner right here. You click it on, and then you point it at said asshole, or douchebag, ninny, or twat, or wanker, and then you say, just 1 second please, bellend, as the English also say, but I can say that one. And then you point it at them, and then you say, are you questioning my symptoms again? And then they reply, why yes I am, even though I've not had 1 second of medical training, let alone 7 to 11 years, I'm going to take the opportunity to be a wanker to you. And to which you reply, well, in that case, then hey presto, you've sent your pillock as far away as you want. And it's all thanks to the pillock spinner. Now, if you're interested, you can get a 50% code if you just text hashtag deadmanspinning to 785-121212 pillock. I should just say, before you do that, you should have it in your mind roughly how far away you want to send them. Maybe a mile might be a nice thing to do, just so they're away from you. But Timbuktu might be a little bit far. But if they really deserve it, then hey, what the heck, right? What the heck? Okay, so Heather said on one of the brain injury support groups that my intelligence is still here, it's just sometimes it's a bit harder to get to. That's the gist of what she said. And I thought I just had to give that a mention because it sums up something I was trying to say in part 2 of what we wish people would do or say towards us. So yeah, nice one, Heather. Anne Marie made a great point. She said that people seem to often want to compare typical dysfunction with disordered dysfunction that we all experience post-significant brain injury. And I just think Anne-Marie really underlined a great common point that's been made a lot on that post, but in general, that there seems to be something probably subconscious, but not a good intent behind it, just trying to belittle it. It's almost like, and this is a thought that's just come to me now, but almost like people see having a brain injury as an advantage. Well, it ain't. As you know full well, all of my viewers who have significant brain injury, I know not all my viewers do, but it isn't. And I think we just need to find ways to, I guess, not give these people an opportunity, or just let it go and just acknowledge in our head that they are full of shit, don't know what they're talking about, aren't qualified, probably don't have good intentions, but forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. It's kind of one of those. I don't often refer to the Bible to help make my points, but some obstacles just need to be ignored, and in a way, overcoming the obstacle is ignoring them or letting them go, or getting to a point where you're just like, doesn't bother me. Because some of these people want a reaction, I actually think. So you can remove, so the people actually are doing it for a reaction, eventually they're just going to fade away when they see you don't react to it anymore. Is that okay? If you were an expert in, say, paleontology, and then some fuckwit came up to you and went, look, I found a fossil and it's clearly a lump of dried horse shit, then you're not going to get into a debate with them, are you? You're just going to go, you're just going to pat on my shoulder and go, okay, and then just leave and get on with your life, you know? I don't know. I have got a bit heated about all of this, but I think that the solution is close to just letting go, or finding methods of letting go and not letting it bother you, because there is no truth in what they say. And I think we give them power a lot of the time by reacting to what they say. Whereas if we just, in our minds, know that they have no authority, no knowledge, no wisdom, nothing to say on it, the only thing they can do is give damage. Anything we can do is by not letting them do damage. But I know it's easy. That's easier said than done. But it's just food for thought point, I guess. Okay, so this is still part 3 to the interactive parts 1 and 2, the last 2 episodes, where I asked brain injury survivors what infuriates you that people do or say towards you post brain injury. Now, apologies to everyone whose comments I haven't read out. To be honest, I was expecting maybe 10 comments maximum, but I had well over, or just over, or roughly 250, and it was just too much for me. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to move on from that topic after this episode, but I've saved that post, so I will still go back to those comments here and there as we move forward through the Dead Man Talking series. So once the comments are particularly relevant to an upcoming episode, I'll keep an eye on all of those, and I'll do my best to give as many comments a mention that I've missed out on as I can. But I'm doing my best. I trust that you know that. Okay, so Terry Rotolo Neiman. I know I got one part of the surname right, the Neiman part, because I have met Terry. I was a guest on her and her husband's excellent Living After Brain Injury podcast, which is called A Battle Within. And I'll put the link to their website below, but you can listen to their podcast on any platform. The link to their podcast will be directly below the video on YouTube in the description. I'll also put a link to the episode where I was the guest, episode 71, but I think they've got nearly 90 episodes now, and it's hosted by Terry's husband Drew, and Terry is the one who has experienced several traumatic brain injuries. Terry commented on the interactive post for the last 3 episodes, including this one. Terry said, when people don't give me time to think or process, their impatience is transparent, and it frustrates Terry because she can see it. Terry also added that I am able, I'm just not always speedy. Yeah, thank you, Terry. I have a theory about life and struggles. At first, struggles and great adversity seem like they're trying to kill us in one way or another. There's lots of different versions of ways of dying. Socially, mentally, spiritually. Actually, I think that all adversity is like a hidden opportunity. But that only is possible because it might ruin us, it might break us. But what I want to do, I want to apply what's happened to me and what I'm still getting used to on a day-by-day basis. I want to eventually turn that into something positive, because I have done before. For at least 15 years, chronic anxiety had me in a prison, which made my life excruciating. Like they say in the Shawshank Redemption, it's a terrible thing to live in fear. And that's true, but it doesn't encapsulate the experience, does it? There's a hidden opportunity here. True progress is always a slow process, but that is particularly true post significant brain injury. It's important to not confuse necessary resting or pausing with stopping. It's okay to rest for a few days or even a week once you've tried to push hard. in whatever way towards progression. But then once you feel up to it again, just a tiny little move forward, an inch forward, means an incredible amount, because I believe that eventually consistent enough inches can move mountains. Thank you to Deborah, who thanked me for sharing the frustration that we all have when it comes to dealing with our brain injuries. Deborah called me a voice for the many. The truth is, I've done and continue to do my best. The best way I can help is not by what I was, a professional actor, but I believe the best way I can help moving forward is by what I'm becoming. It's approaching 5 years since I began my novel. Brain injury has severely slowed that down, but I will get there. The only hint about my novel I will give at this point, even though I have touched on it in previous videos on my Dead Man Talking series, is that I have a tendency of putting my main characters through things I have been through, because enough authors and writers who I respect greatly have said, when you're starting out, write what you know. And I know great adversity, I know anxiety, I know movies and films, and I know significant brain injury and traumatic brain injury, and I know invisible disability and injuries. When I have been able to work on my novel, which is few and very far between, eventually these videos will morph. They'll still be largely about the great adversity and struggles of life, towards being aligned with how I wish and how I'm trying to overcome my own struggles, and that is by finishing the job and becoming an author. And hopefully eventually I can become a professional writer and author. I do believe that though. I do believe I can, and one of the private doctors I saw a great deal of thinks that that's my only hope to break free of the oppression of my brain injury, at least to a certain extent. Also, as this is episode 50, I wanted to give a shout out to a couple of women who have made comments following the beginning of these last 3 parts that really touched me. And also, I felt it was important just to say that I have struggled to carry on with this series, Dead Man Talking. But one thing, I've realised a few things recently, but one of them was that once I put these out on YouTube, they'll just be on YouTube for good. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons, but also that mainly that I'm giving back and that there is appreciation for that, and there is a good number of people who actually do get benefit. So I will carry on at least for a good while longer. Okay, so Carol sent me a really touching message where she expressed that she was touched by part 1 of what people say and do that we wish they wouldn't. And Carol is 20 years post-traumatic brain injury. She often gets people say things like, "You should be healed by now, you just don't want to get better." Which really angers me, because I've talked to top doctors and researched brain injury, obviously, extensively post what happened to me. And brain injury is quite clearly the one thing where, although you might gradually recover in small ways throughout your whole life, it's one of those things that, at the moment at least, it looks like very often you don't get better from. So again, I just think it's an opportunity for people in their ignorance, just be mean, unfortunately. And I'm really sorry that you go through that, Carol. Thank you for your words once again. And also, Carol, it's important for me to say that your words also had a wonderful effect on me. So thank you very much. And I hope things continue to get easier. Also, Denise, thank you for all your kind words also. And thank you for sharing a bit about your experiences following your son's own traumatic brain injury. From memory, I think you said that he was the same age as me, and it happened roughly around the same time mine did. Apologies if I've got any of those details wrong. Yeah, and it was just important also to mention Denise, because she said so many nice things. We had a nice little conversation. It's just important, I think, to point out, as I have before, and Drew and Terry Neiman's A Battle Within has a big message of that caregivers and those who love us are just as much a part of the TBI, ABI and PCS brain injury worldwide community as the brain injury survivors and warriors themselves. So anyone who's watching this who hasn't directly had a significant brain injury, but who loves someone who does, then I just want to remind you that you are as much a part of this community as me or anyone who's had a brain injury. You are equal. And I just think it's important to say that, because it's true. And that's an important thing to me. I won't go on about it again, the whole being honest thing, but it's true. I can't remember what I was going to say. This is not even a skit, I really can't, but I might just keep this in. Yeah, I will. Sod it. But what was my point? Fuck. I will. Oh yeah. Wankers. Do you have a problem with wankers? Bullshit. Call bullshit. Do you have problems post-traumatic brain injury, acquired brain injury, or post-concussion syndrome? Hi, my name is Tarquin Randolph, no it's not, with people who call. Do you have problems with people that call bullshit on your brain injury? But I will keep referencing that link that I've saved, that post, and I've just remembered that I've already filmed a bit of footage saying this. Fuck. This is not an act, by the way, this is legit, but I think I'll just put this in instead because it's genuine, that I'm filming it again, but at least I remembered that I filmed this again. Tarquin, back to you, son. He's my brother, not my dad, so I don't want to call me son. Hi, and welcome. Fuck, what's it called?